Ask yourself the damn question. Is winning the only thing to you?
Sports today are not just played on the field. They're played every day, online, all over the world, by sports fans just like you.
Don't you dare breathe. That won't get you anywhere. If you don't think you're a winner, you don't belong here.
The Star Fantasy League Show puts you in control of your own team. Find out who to sit, who to start, how to play, and have your daily fantasy sports questions answered with your host, Jonathan Sprung, and co-host SFL CEO Zach Stanley and Nick Steblenko. The Star Fantasy League Show is on the air now.
Hello and welcome to the Star Fantasy League Show here on 105.5 The Team in Rochester. I am your host, Jonathan Sprung, joined, as always, by SFL CEO, Mr. Deucey Moose himself, Zach Stanley.
Hello, Jonald.
I phrased that as a question. Zach Stanley?
Zach Stanley.
Yeah, I tried.
Well, it's a tough day today here at the Star Fantasy League's headquarters.
Would you
You know, we get to hang out and watch sports and, build this awesome website, do all sorts of fun stuff, but just a bit of a down day.
Yeah, it's a down day. USA, sigh. Little Bills drama going on.
Bills drama and our beloved Sabres announcer, Rick Jeanneret, 20 years of not smoking, has throat cancer. So, but all intent to recover and come back, and we wish him all the best, obviously.
He won't be the first or the last Buffalo native to have cancer and just come out on top of it. Jim Kelly's getting through it. Another guy got cancer. Everyone thought the worst, but he's pulling through.
We hope.
Hey, see?
We gotta wait for the results of his treatments. So we'll see.
That is true.
But Nick's here.
Nick is here. Teddy Bear 2 himself, Nick Steblenko.
I am here.
Happy day for Nick, though. We gotta bring the teddy bear up.
How is it a happy day?
No, I'm saying you're here. It's a happy day.
Yeah, I'm not really bringing a whole lot of happiness to the table. I'm going to be quite honest. I'm a very sad Teddy today.
Oh no.
I'm heartbroken.
Can't have a sad Teddy.
I'm heartbroken. I mean, everybody knows I love hockey, I love football, I love basketball, I love baseball. I don't really follow soccer, but man, I was in this, and it was gut wrenching. That game was gut wrenching.
I think you may or may not have yelled out "Let's go" 10,000 times during the game. It was every time you said it, I got really excited, very excited.
I thought we had it. Everything was fine. I mean, I know they outplayed us. I know they definitely had more shots. Tim Howard was unbelievable.
Well, we're gonna have plenty of time in Jonald's mailbag to talk.
And this whole Kiko Alonso crap is a joke.
Yeah,
as if the Bills deserve anything more.
That is depressing. We are going to talk about World Cup in Jonald's mailbag, but we got to be accountable for our actions. We'll step away from all the sadness and talk about. Oh wait, I guess never mind. We didn't do that well, except for Zach. Zach, bring some happiness. How'd you do yesterday?
I did great because of Tim Lincecum, who had a great follow-up performance.
Big-time Timmy Jim, 2 in a row. 2 big performances in a row.
Very exciting. Proud of my selection. I definitely took the cake.
All right, but you can't.
Is this an acceptance speech?
Yeah, exactly.
He's giving an award
I don't know
speech.
what else to say. I feel great.
Honestly,
thank the little people.
You can't just lodge your just absolute wins. You have to also talk about. That's part of being accountable. You have to do it.
It's also great though on days that are difficult. When we've got tough news. Tough stuff to deal with. That fantasy sports is still in our lives.
That's true.
Fantasy sports will never go down with an ACL injury. It will never take a day off unless it's no games on the slate. But
unless somebody on your team goes down with an ACL injury.
Yeah, but then you still get to draft a new team the next day.
That's true.
See?
Beautiful.
Unless it ruins my season in one of my snake leagues, of course.
Oh, yeah, that is true. But we're talking daily right now.
We're talking daily.
I love how you're just trying to. He's trying
move on to tomorrow and rebound.
He's trying to weasel out of talking about the other 3 people he picked who didn't do so well.
Well, they weren't
good.
They
weren't good. I'm going to do it for you. Trout actually showed up a little bit, 3.75. Matt Joyce 1.75. You actually got the most out of any of the value plays from yesterday. So good on you.
I feel pretty good about it.
Not too bad. And the Tigers, man, JD Martinez, what are you doing, buddy? Another home run, another huge game.
He is just locked in.
Yep.
Maybe eternally. I don't know.
Eternal lock-in.
Yeah, maybe this is,
coming out party?
Superstardom is what you're saying.
I think we're at the point now where it's just like, okay, this guy is just going to be really, really good.
Hopefully.
We'll see. I mean, come on. It's a really good month. a lot of players have a really good month.
Look at that devil's advocate over there.
All
Nick.
right,
Love
we'll
it.
see.
Yeah,
I'm pulling for the guy.
What happened
He's
to George
phenomenal.
Springer? What was it? Eight home runs a couple months ago. He hasn't been heard from really since.
Nope.
It's been kind of quiet.
Nope.
What about you, Nick? Anything you want to throw out for being accountable?
No, I'm good too. I'm
Yeah.
all set.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm all set.
I made sure
You
to
don't
check.
need to
If
go there.
I made sure to check if Mookie Betts played yesterday because he had a 0 again.
Yep.
Yeah, he played.
Yep, he played.
That'll happen.
No.
Mookie!
I don't think he has like 1 fantasy point in 4 games now.
Mookie, where'd you go?
Wait,
Poor Mookie.
wait, did you guys play?
Yeah, we played. I won by like 3,
Oh.
something like that.
Like 1.
Was it really 1?
I don't know.
No, I think it was like 3.
It was like 1.
What? Fine, you can have that. But again, we don't want to be sad. We don't want to dwell on anything. Let's get to today's lineups and see if we can get Nick up on his horse.
All right, I'll get up on
Yay.
the horse. Let's get it going.
All right, let's do it.
Let's do this.
Time for your Star Fantasy League's MLB Fantasy Lineup Breakdown.
All right, I got a lineup to talk about.
That's
And
so bad.
no, honestly, I was just about to say that. I hate my lineup so much because I spent, for every pitcher I talked about on yesterday's show, I went for all the pitchers I liked, and I had like 6,000 to spend for each player.
I'm just trying to get ready. I'm trying to find a way to be happy, and I think bashing on John's going to be the way to go.
Yeah, you
Isn't
know
it?
what? You guys
Yep.
have plenty of time to bash on me, and I will take it. I will take it like a man. You bashed me when I wasn't here. I didn't appreciate that. But when I'm here, you can bash me as much as you want.
So no snide remarks like you usually make.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm the host. I'm allowed to make any snide remark. At least I'm not a shock jock where I just press a button that's like, like stupid laughs and stuff.
Well, then if you can dish it out, you got to take it.
Oh, don't you worry. I can take it.
I
said
don't know.
you can't
I
take
don't
it.
know
I said
if he
when
can
I'm
take
here.
it.
just said you can't take it.
When I'm here, I can take it. Not driving home in the car crying.
You listened.
Thanks.
You were listening, so you were here.
I know.
Everybody's here.
A little different. I wish I was home, not driving 7 hours. All right, let's get right to it. Pitchers I loved. I love the expensive guys. Julio Teheran. Loved Cole Hamels. And I got Mr. DiGiorno himself, Jacob deGrom.
That's good. I mean, if you, I don't know how you feel about the rest of your hitters.
Horrible.
Yeah, I gotta
feel
see.
horribly about my hitters.
Yeah, I was trying to fit Julio in there as well because I love his matchup, but not at the expense of all the bats.
No?
No, I didn't. Yesterday when I researched, I didn't see any value plays I really liked.
I mean, that's the problem here. I found a couple value plays I liked, and I got them in right away, and then I was like, oh, there's some plug-and-play guys I just really didn't feel comfortable about, but I didn't like any of the other pitchers.
I think with such a short slate, it's never a bad approach to stack up on solid pitchers.
Yeah, I'm hoping I can get at least 25 to 30 points out of my 3 pitchers on this slate. Maybe 1 or 2 of them get over 10. The other one gets me 6, 7, 8, something like that, and I'll be perfectly fine.
Maybe you can win on that alone.
No.
No, probably
I
not.
don't. Yeah, I don't think that's how that
No,
works.
I don't think so.
Nope.
No. All right, let me get to my batters. I'm going to say them as quickly as possible so you have the least amount of time possible to make fun of me for each one. Is that okay?
Nope.
Fine. All right, so I did like the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim that happened to play under the 405 freeway in Anaheim.
Okay.
Yeah, is that their team name this time?
Yep.
John Danks. What more can we say about the guy?
That he's horrible?
Yeah, I would say what more can we say other than the fact that he is horrible.
Oh, okay. Well, he's really bad. That's something else.
Yeah, really. I found my value on that Angels team. I didn't go for any of the giant guys because, as you can tell, I don't have money to spend.
That's true.
I went for
You're broke.
Chris Ionetta at catchers. He's 6232 starfantasyleagues.com. And then I also went for Colin Cowgill because he's only 4,300.
He's a lefty, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not ideal.
What's wrong with that? John Danks.
Trying to find a way to bash him here. Yeah, that's bad.
I mean,
Just
okay.
bad.
It's a little. It's not the best situation in the world.
You've got a decent
No, sorry,
shot.
no. Cowgill, wrong. Cowgill is righty.
He's a righty.
Yeah.
And who the heck am I thinking of?
You're probably thinking of Cole Calhoun.
Who the hell did I hit?
It's probably Cole Calhoun, right?
Yeah, probably.
I think regardless, you've got a decent shot taking anybody against John Danks.
Yeah, I'm convinced that this is one of those 7 or 8 run, not against Danks specifically, but this is one of those games they're probably going to put 7 or 8 up on offense.
I'm still waiting to hear about whether or not Pujols is a go, because if he is, I think he's a must play.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, again,
Pujol.
can't afford him. Let's go right to first base. Actually, I have 2 guys from this team, both huge value plays again. I have Ike Davis for Pittsburgh. Love him. Chase Anderson loves to give up the home run. He's got the highest home run per 9 at 1.61 per 9. That's a monster number.
Well, we like Pittsburgh as a stack.
Yeah, actually, I do like them.
And Big Ike's been hitting, what, 5th in that line, 4th or 5th? I like him a lot.
What do you think?
Really? 4th or 5th?
I thought
he was hitting like 6.
It might have been a day where they plugged him in. Where
I
saw
thought
him
it was
hitting.
6.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
I really like
I
really like Polanco. Gregory Polanco, ever since he got called up from the minors, he's been fantastic. He's been leading off, and he can score in so many ways. He can steal bases. He can hit home runs. It's unbelievable what he's been able to do.
Thank you for that random segue. Speaking of calling up for the minors, Chris Colabello just got called up today to Minnesota.
It's our boy.
Good on him.
We like him.
Nice big shout
Congratulations
out.
to
Going
him.
from Rochester back up to the big leagues.
We always like to see the youth and rising stars come through the Rochester area.
Yeah, he's a good guy too.
He was nice to us.
Yeah, he really was. Oh yeah, you weren't. I was like, yeah, you weren't there for that. Never mind.
He didn't big time us.
That is, he might now. You never know.
Well, now
All right,
he might, yeah.
My other Pittsburgh guy I got in there was Jordy Mercer at shortstop. Another guy around 4,000. It's just in that offense, I feel like anywhere you hit, especially against a guy like Chase Anderson, who I can't find any redeeming quality about how he plays. Really low ground ball, high home run. It's just nothing.
So you went with the same games that I looked at. I just, like I said, I couldn't fit that top pitcher in there, and I was able to get Polanco and McCutcheon and stuff like that. So if you think that the runs are going to be there, it might be wise to peel back on the pitching.
Oh, I wasn't done either. I got Andrew McCutcheon as well. I think that Pittsburgh team is going to do some damage. I figured, you know what, put a couple – for the teams that I know are going to put up a bunch of runs, if I can put in some value players who are actually in some decent – like not in the 8-9 spots. Obviously, the NL, you can't be in the 9 spot. But
Well, it's two different approaches. You're going with a little more of an upside lineup, Nick.
Yep.
And,
value city.
Yeah, and John has a little more of a possible consistent lineup, maybe a double-up type lineup.
That was the nicest thing you've ever said, me being consistent. And you know what? I actually have only 3 teams total. My third team, I'm going to be playing the Texas Rangers of Texas. See, they have nothing special about their name. Just boring. Arlington, Texas. They are going up against, I believe this one was changed, right? Chris Tillman is not pitching, is he? It is the Texas pitcher's not out.
Yeah,
Chris Tillman is still in there.
got pulled, right?
Yeah, that's depressing.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I was kind of.
You could say the Texas Rangers of Arlington.
Yeah, Arlington, Texas Rangers. That sounds interesting.
Okay.
It's a thought.
But for Texas, I do have 3 guys in there. I have the man whose name we cannot pronounce, and I asked several people. Apparently, Roned Odor is the best I can get.
Hodor.
No, it's not Hodor. Then I have another one of my big bats. I got Adrian Beltre in there. Come on now.
Man,
it seems like you were able to do
yeah,
something
you
pretty
definitely
decent
snuck
there.
a few guys in.
I have literally 2 big bats. It's Adrian Beltre and it's Andrew McCutcheon. And then my last guy is the Shin-Soo master, Shin-Soo Choo.
That's a
but
big bat.
He could be good. Yeah, he could be good for sure.
I mean, he's fairly inexpensive because he hasn't been hitting of late.
But he's got power.
He's a guy that can turn it on at any time. And again, we said Chris Tillman in Baltimore. Boom, boom. There's potential for boom, boom.
Tillman go boom.
No, yes, Tillman definitely go boom. All right, coming up after the break, we're going to talk some soccer in John Old's mailbag. I know, I have to say it like that. And you're listening to the Star Fantasy League show on 105.5 The Team.
The Star Fantasy League Show. Information is key to being a successful fantasy team owner, and the guys have all the updated info you need right now. Okay, fantasy sports fans.
There's a letter in your mailbox.
Time to dig into Donald's mailbag for your questions and comments.
Read the mail, read the mail, read the mail.
Jump in the game. Send your questions and comments to the Star Fantasy League's team by tweeting at SFL Show.
That's right. Today you can actually tweet us at SFL Show. Yesterday we did the show a little early so that we were able to go to the Otter Lodge over on Monroe and watch the game with some friends.
A lot of excitement, but not the result that we were looking for.
Before we even talk about the game, to the people that left in the 2nd or 107th minute, whenever they scored the second goal, shame on you.
Jerks.
Shame on you. It's once every 4 years. You couldn't have stayed for the last 13 minutes.
Yeah, I don't really know why they had to score that first goal, though, because it made us all think something was going to happen.
Well, no, okay.
It's pretty close to happening, though.
The second one was within, a stupid Wondolowski oof of, going in the net.
Brutal.
It was.
We were in position to score that second goal.
I can't.
What are you talking about? After we scored in extra time?
He's talking about our first goal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it.
False hope.
Yeah, it was false hope.
It wasn't false hope, though, because we did. Wondolowski had a shot from 3 feet away to tie the game.
It was real hope that didn't result in anything, and I went away miserable and upset.
Aren't you talking about? You're talking about Chris Wondolowski when he had a chance to win the game in extra time.
That was.
If he had scored that, we would never have gone.
Yeah,
to
that
extra
was
time.
late in the second half.
It was in like the 91st
I thought the
or
Wondolowski
92nd.
was the one in extra time.
No.
No? Okay, then who was the one that missed it in extra? Because there was one in extra time when we were down 2-1 that could have gone in if it wasn't just like kicked out. Oh, I think it was. Didn't Jermaine Jones have a shot that went off like the side of his foot pretty close? That might have been in regulation too.
Yeah,
Whatever.
I don't remember. Either way,
All I'm saying
I
is,
kind of agree with you there.
Yeah,
False hope. That
it
was
just
really
it's so
made it worse.
heartbreaking when you're that close.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the fact of the matter is we really didn't belong in this game other than for Tim Howard. He really made the difference. He made us able to play in this game. But, man, when you know that the other team is better, you know that you're an underdog going in, and you can see your goalie standing on his head, all you have to do is reach your foot out another inch, and the ball goes in, and we pull off a miracle. And that's why it's so heartbreaking.
Do you believe in miracles? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it was one of those things where you see it so close to going in the net, so close to being goal, and then you get that feeling that that's as good as it's going to get.
Yep. Absolutely.
Sigh. All right, you know what? Let me move on to the actual question at hand because it has something to do with beyond the game itself. Where is it? What type of lasting effects will this run have on soccer in the U.S.? I'm talking about the run into the knockout stages. I mean, obviously last time we did that, but we came from the group of death. Honestly, nobody really picked us to get out of this group. It was, you'd be lucky to get a couple points here.
Yeah, I mean, the last 4 years ago, everybody said that soccer was going to take off. I think it still has a long way to go in the U.S. I mean, people love to root for our country, and that's why everybody was behind this. It was very exciting, and I think there are a lot of names that people can latch on to, such as Clint Dempsey or Tim Howard.
Gone.
But there's nothing to be said about that because I think Zach pointed out yesterday, the MLS is still sort of a retirement league. It's still a place where players go to die. I think Kaká from Brazil just signed there like yesterday.
Yeah, he hasn't been on a World Cup roster. Was he on the last World Cup roster?
Yeah.
He wasn't on this one.
He was on the last one.
Yeah, he's definitely not on this one.
No.
So, I mean, I think it has a long way to go still.
Yeah, it is. I guess you could call it like an NBDL team where it's just like, except it's reverse. It's not where like people go to retire as NBA. It's like up and coming guys who can't really make it in the league. Mm-hmm.
And getting out of the group is great. Obviously, it was the most difficult group we thought. Mm-hmm. But when these times where we've been getting out of groups but not able to get to the quarterfinals, I think that is making things pretty difficult because we're still not really counted as totally relevant. Yep. Obviously, we're going crazy for it. You know, the thought of going to the Final 8 is just awesome, but I think until we do that, we're not going to get we're certainly not going to get the kind of international respect.
Yeah, especially they were ranked 13th in the world coming into this tournament.
Yeah,
in any sport, that's a pretty respectable ranking. You're in the top 20 in your respective sport. But if you think about it, really, any team from the Premier League would have dominated us. They would have crushed us because they're that good. That's the kind of league that we would have to get to if we were going to compete on a constant basis. The MLS is nowhere near that.
No, none of those teams could come in there and do really anything, nor do you actually expect them to.
Yeah, and the thing is that the best players in the U.S. are playing overseas.
Yep.
So, and it's going to be that way. I don't even know how you would go about changing that.
I don't think you combat that. You really can't combat that.
Because those are the best leagues. That is the highest talent. All of those players aren't going to suddenly come to the MLS, and we don't have enough talent in the U.S. to make MLS a relevant league alone comparatively.
And then when they get too good, they would go back to the EPL. That's what it is.
I'm not going to pretend to understand every bit about soccer in Europe. They have so many different leagues and so many different levels and ways to advance to the next league and be relegated to the worst league. But if that were a possibility to get the MLS into that somehow, into that system, I know it's hard, but they already play all over the world.
What you mean, getting one
like
of the MLS teams?
Getting into champions.
That would actually be kind of cool if you could
know what I mean?
One of the top MLS team into the EPL.
There's the Premier League, and then there's a league below that and a league below that, and teams, they vie to get into the Premier League. They vie to get into a higher league. So Is there any way to throw the MLS into there? Other than that, I don't really see a way for Major League Soccer to compete on a global level.
I agree. It's going to be difficult. It'll always – I just can't see any drastic changes happening. I think that what we saw in this World Cup from a country perspective was amazing. Yep. It was awesome. It was so exciting. I think that
great to be
that is going to keep getting better, and hopefully what went on and the drama surrounding it and all the excitement, hopefully there will continue to be more soccer played in the U.S. and more talent coming out of the U.S. regardless of whether they're playing overseas, and we'll get to see a better team 4 years from now.
Hopefully. All right, we got one more. USA. We're moving on. Johnny M. writes, this is my favorite part of the year. NBA free agency is in full swing with several egregious contracts already being handed out. Which players have already been overpaid?
I don't know. Do we have a list?
I have a list of the 4 deals that were actually agreed.
Jody Meeks?
Yeah, there were 4 deals agreed upon. Marcin Gortat got 5 years, $60 million, all guaranteed, no opt-out team or player.
By Washington?
Yep. Sean Livingston got the full mid-level, 3 years, $16 million from the Golden State Warriors. Again, no opt-out. Jody Meeks got 3 years, $20 million. What?
That Jody Meeks thing is crazy.
Yeah, I think that's the craziest.
Not the craziest part is he getting that money. It's from getting it from Detroit. What is Detroit doing? Do they like the players they have? Do they hate the team they have?
I guess so. I don't know. I think that has to be the most egregious. I can kind of understand Gortat, but the price is a little bit high. Yeah, he did really well last year for that team.
He had the best year of his career as a full two-way player.
Yeah.
He was amazing on defense. He did exactly what he needed to. Especially when Nene went down, he came up and was an absolute monster.
Didn't we use him in almost every night?
Yep,
especially when his price tag was low when he first came in. He must have been in our lineup every single night.
In the playoffs, he was. He was incredible. And the guy we didn't mention, Avery Bradley, re-signed with the Celtics, 4 years, $32. I don't like it.
4 years, $32 million for him?
I don't like it.
Why would he be
That's
getting $30
a lot.
million?
I mean, he's
injury prone. He's basically his
shot. He's a defensive specialist.
His shot came on last year.
Yeah, it came on a little bit, but he also doesn't have. Statistically, he doesn't contribute in any other categories other than points. I mean,
yeah. Even when we had no backup point guard, he still couldn't figure out a way to average more than 3 assists a game, which is just depressing on that team.
So I mean, what would be a more appropriate salary for him? Because
okay.
In the NBA, the prices are absurd as they are.
Here's the issue that I've been seeing. There's 4 marquee free agents available. 4 marquee free agents: Wade, Bosch, LeBron, and Melo. Mm-hmm. There's about 12 teams with the cap room to sign these 4 guys. If they don't get one of these guys, they're going to be spending that max cap room on players who do not deserve max deals. Like Gordon Hayward is going to get a max deal from a team who loses out on one of these players.
Yeah, and I honestly think the biggest thing so far is that Jody Meeks deal because it pertains to so many other players that say, hey, look at this guy. We know what he's capable of.
Yeah, why is it this
he's
early?
He's pretty much just a three-point shooter. And I think that's exactly what happened. Lance Stevenson has turned down an offer from the Pacers.
Yeah, it was 4 years, 45 or something like that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
I think it was 4.45. That's just I take that.
5 year 44 is what it was.
Okay.
To kind of contribute to your point there, real quick, don't they have to meet a salary cap minimum in order to share revenue sharing? That's one of the main reasons that these guys would be getting such an enormous contract after. LeBron and Melo and all of them get signed.
Players like
they
Meeks,
don't get anybody.
They don't want to see where they want to give out a stupid contract because they assume if somebody else gives out a stupid contract first, then Meeks could have gotten 3 years $30 million from some stupid team that just goes, well, we need a guy like that. Let's just go get that guy before the second shoe falls.
I understand what you're saying there. What I'm saying is after LeBron and Melo and Wade and Bosch all get off the market, and like you said, they're going to some team is going to end up paying for Gordon Hayward, like the Cavs, who I believe are in the running there. They're going to pay a max contract for him. Doesn't that play into it? Revenue sharing as an owner, I'm pretty sure that's one of the reasons that they have to spend that money.
I think only one team was even close to getting under the salary cap last year. It was Philadelphia for obvious reasons.
Right.
So it's pretty
can't
difficult.
believe Gordon Hayward's going to get a max contract.
Neither can I.
I mean, he honestly, in the full scheme of things, he doesn't deserve one. Maybe in a couple years, he's going to prove that he is a number 2 guy and he should get a max.
So inconsistent.
Yep.
Well, let's be honest. He should not have been running that team. It's his 3rd year. He's running a Utah team that had no business being an NBA team.
Right, but yeah, you could say that he was running that team fine, But if he was, then he wasn't producing. So it's not like he was just taking double teams constantly or anything like that. He just was inconsistent in terms of scoring on a night-to-night basis.
And how long do you wait for a guy to be able to run a team in today's NBA?
That's true.
You usually wait a year, and then you're like, well, what are you doing now?
Yeah, I mean, I think if he was a max contract guy, we would know it by now.
I mean, Kyrie did the same thing, though, leading a team to 20 wins that was horrible and had no intention of actually winning anything.
I know we're looking at different positions, but I would rather pay Lance Stevenson than pay Gordon Hayward.
Lance Stevenson is going
both sides of the ball.
Lance Stevenson will get a max deal. I think someone like Atlanta who's just clearing out cap room like crazy, they're probably going to sign someone like Lance Stevenson.
I don't know. They offer 5-year 44. I don't know that. I mean, that sets a little bit of a benchmark for what other. I don't think it's going to drastically go up. So to say that he gets a max, I don't know.
Bradley just got 4 years, $32 million. Stevenson probably saw that and said, "Yeah, I'm worth way more than that. Like way more than that."
We'll see how it pans out.
He might get $60 million. You never know. He might deserve it.
More than Gordon Hayward.
Yo, no. Stevenson, please pay him first before you pay Gordon Hayward. Please. All right, coming up after the break, we have a special segment called Studley or Chudley Thursday. Actually, no, we seriously do. I'm not kidding. All right, come back. You're listening to the Star Fast League Show on 105.5 The Team.
Play fantasy sports for cash prizes. Join the top daily and weekly fantasy leagues in the country at starfantasyleagues.com. Now, back to the Star Fantasy League Show with Donald, Teddy Bear 2, and the Deucey Moose. Only on The Team.
Deucey.
And the Deucey Moose.
Deucey, Teddy, it's time for a segment I just teased. It's actually not anything different than what we normally talk about for, tomorrow's Major League Baseball, where we just break down stacks. We break down some pitchers. We're going to do a pitching tier. But I looked at this lineup. Nick gives me the pitching tiers every day when we do this. And I immediately looked at 6 of the guys out of 14. There's only 7 games on the slate tomorrow. And I saw stack. So we have Studley or Chudley Thursday.
It's a very large tier 3.
Yeah, and tier 3 is very disturbingly bad.
Yeah, there's not a lot to like in the tier 3.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, you're being a little facetious there, but let's start with what we normally start with. We're talking about stacks on starfantasyleagues.com for Thursday Major League Baseball. That's where you put in anywhere from 2 to 4 players on offense into your lineup.
I'm loading tier 1.
What? No.
Did you miss that again?
I'm loading tier 1, I said.
You're what?
Scherzer, Greinke, Darvish,
What
Tanaka.
happened? What happened to? Oh,
I'm putting them all in.
Oh, those are your hitters.
No, those are my pitchers, and I'm putting them all in.
Oh, Zach refuses to actually play along with the.
I'm not transitioning.
No, you want to stay in Studley.
I'm boycotting the transition.
All right, Nick, you're gonna since Zach refuses to play along. Today is a Wednesday, and he's very upset he's not singing. Is that what it is?
I guess.
Do you want to sing on Wednesday?
Well, I thought we were going to talk about Studleys and Chudleys.
I said we're going to get to that, but we have to name some actual stacks.
Well, you can anticipate how excited I would be for that.
What, for Studley Chudley?
Yes.
I know. That's why I want to get the stacks out of the way.
Fine, let's get them
Nick,
out of the way.
Name one for us.
Detroit.
What a surprise.
Okay, you told me to name one, and then you give me crap about it. We're moving on to the pitchers. And Zach, who do you like in the pitching tiers?
All right. Fine.
You want a stack? I gave you a stack. You don't like it? You spit it in my face. It is what it is. You want to be that way? Whatever.
Well, you mentioned one of our first Chudley guys of the day.
What?
Eric. Yeah, really. Eric Bedard he's our first appearance on the Chudley list.
Bedard.
Yeah, he's a total chud job.
Yeah, I can't see them doing much. And not to mention,
the ruling is
the hottest offense in the month of June was the Detroit Tigers.
Yes.
Chudley.
Yeah, they're making
Chudley
a big run
versus
and having a great series against Oakland. So
yeah.
That's one of the things. I think Oakland is in line for a big rebound. I think they'll have a great game.
What against?
So against Dickey.
Against Scherzer?
No.
We're talking about a
he's saying
totally different game.
Oakland against.
You think they're going to rebound against who?
Against
Dickey?
Yeah. R.A. Dickey.
R.A. Dickey? Yeah, I can see that happening.
So you're saying
you're
going to stack. You're looking for a stack alert on Oakland?
Yeah, I like Oakland for the stack. I think this is going to be one of those games where Dickey gets shelled.
Yeah, I have that listed as well. I mean, Dickey just, especially against good teams, if he doesn't have it absolute go, like if he doesn't have his ace stuff, he's gonna get knocked around.
His price tag has been the same the entire year. He's been at 10,000 all year long.
His home and away splits are exactly the same. He is what he is.
And we know what constitutes ace stuff for him. It's that little ball just kind of moving around as it goes to the plate.
Bouncing around.
And making people look foolish trying to hit it.
I'm actually going to go with a little bit of advice that our good pal Jason Gringer gave us. Right-handed batters versus a knuckleballer. That's the way to go. So,
all right, so you're putting in what, a Cespedes
like Derek
type?
No, not Cespedes because he's prone to strike out. So I kind of want to stay away from that, but Josh Donaldson, Derek Norris, if Derek Norris plays over John Jaso.
They've actually been. We've been talking about this. They've been playing 2 catchers. They've been throwing one on the outfield, moving them around.
Well, Oakland is. They're the masters of that. They really are. They have the deepest roster in the majors. They can literally put players in any position.
Well,
there's only 1 or 2, 3 guys that actually stay.
I saw a lineup where they had 3 catchers in. One in the outfield, one at catcher, and one at just one
that
at
benefits
DH.
them.
That's
That benefits
insane.
them.
Derek Norris has thrown out like 3 batters, like out of like 30 attempts.
That's not good.
I mean 3 stealers. Sorry.
Oh,
I guess they
3
are
runners.
batters.
Yeah, they're batters.
They
That's
were
fine.
once batters, and then they flew.
Now they're base runners.
Yes.
I think they call them that.
Is that what they are?
They do call them. All right, I gotta get to one more stack before we move on to the pitching tiers, the Chudley and Studleys. I am all over the Los Angeles Dodgers, not the weird name team from Los Angeles. Anytime we got a left-handed batter on the mound, you got to talk about Scott. What? Left-handed pitcher on the mound. Did I say batter again?
Yes.
I did. I
We're
always do that.
It's USA hangover. We're botching this.
Sure. No, we don't do that. Franklin Morales is on the mound for Colorado. This game is in Colorado. Van Slyke against lefties, 494 weighted on-base average. You have to get him in. He's inexpensive still.
But isn't the rest of the team horrible against left-handed pitchers?
Okay, they're not good as a team, but there are still 3 guys who are above excellent against lefties. So
Fair enough.
You can't look at the team weighted on-base average unless you're looking at a pitcher. Because that's judging a team. You could have a team that's last in the league and still have 2 or 3 really good
Well, what if I was
batters.
looking at Morales tomorrow as a play?
Then you should not be doing that.
Why? Because you just said the
No.
Dodgers are not a good team overall,
Okay.
and if I was looking at a
But
pitcher,
this is a not-so-good lefty in Colorado.
I don't know.
That part I don't like. I mean, okay, I understand the thing about playing
He's
against...
minimum price. I don't know. I just say if he gets 4 or 5 points, I think you're golden.
All right.
Nick really likes to put in those big bats, it seems like.
He does.
I do.
We have a different little thing going. Sometimes it works for him. Sometimes it works for me. It's daily fantasy sports in a nutshell. I really like the Dodgers. Van Slyke, Hanley Ramirez batting almost 400 WOBA against lefties. Puig is obviously a dominant beast against anybody. Just put him in.
Dominant beast.
No Gonzalez, though. He is batting like 280.
What's Puig's price at?
I think he was still under 10.
Now
I think it
I
was under
believe
9,
he's dipped
yeah.
below under 8,500. I think he's
Ooh,
around
baby.
8,000,
Ooh, baby, get him in.
which is fine. But
Please.
that also means that he's been tapering off.
That's.
I'm talking
very
myself
true.
into Morales. Can you see?
That's
Can you see
sad.
what's going on?
It sounds like it.
I'm
Franklin
gonna-
Morales, you're my boy.
All right, tomorrow, StarFantasyLeagues.com, we're talking offense and some pitchers, but please, for the love of God, get some Dodgers in. Get them in.
Don't do it.
All right, let's move on to the pitching tiers. We're calling it Studley Chudley Thursday for a reason. We got studs up top and chuds down low.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Tier 1, $15,000 and up. Price on StarFantasyLeagues.com. We got Masahiro Tanaka, Yu Darvish, Max Scherzer, and Zach Greinke. Have we ever had a better top tier than that?
This and the matchups are all ripe. They are just amazing.
They're all right. Yeah, you know what? I don't know about the last. The last one upsets me a little bit because Zach Greinke in Colorado. I know that these guys can pitch against teams in Colorado, but if there's a better matchup, don't you just shy away from this game in general?
Yeah, but I mean, if the other 3 guys weren't there, I would still advocate for Greinke because he's pitched against Colorado twice, once in Colorado, and both games are actually pretty solid. They weren't fantastic. They weren't over 10. They were like 6 and 7 points. So, I mean, he's capable, but the other guys are just too good.
Yeah, I think the only thing that keeps you still looking at him is that price, which is still very nice for the way that he's been pitching.
True. Very true.
But I like Scherzer
Yep.
a
Yeah,
lot.
of course. I mean,
I like the value. I like the matchup. There's really nothing that I don't like.
the number that really surprised me when looking into this, because, Nick, you've been doing this every month where you put the last month's stats up against it to see how they've been doing in relation to the full season. Tampa Bay was the 8th best offense in June.
Yeah.
Now, I would not, if you looked at their numbers overall, I would not have expected that.
Never would have guessed that either because I mean, they really don't have a lot of consistency.
They're
in
like
their lineup.
17th overall in the majors in offense, but 8th in June. They're either means they're coming on or they're having an out of the box month.
Could be.
Well, and it's also in Detroit, which is nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Scherzer's going to kind of negate their offense, though.
He should be able to. I do like him, but the runaway, yet again, is Masahiro Tanaka. I know he's almost 22,000 on StarFantasyLeagues.com. Has the best matchup against Minnesota. Minnesota's offense it's been about the same all year, around the 20s in the league. They strike out at an extremely high clip. They've always been in the top 10 all season long. Tanaka's been an absolute beast, even against good offenses. I can't advocate not playing him at any time.
The only reason he didn't get the win on last Friday was because Lester pitched just as well.
Correct.
So
He went into the ninth, didn't he?
Yeah. So I think they're going. I think Phil Hughes is on the other. I don't think Hughes is going to out-duel Tanaka, although I still like that matchup.
Yeah, I mean, okay. Honestly, Yu Darvish scares the crap out of me. He's been fairly up and down recently. He's had 3 not so good starts, and the rest are really good. So, what are you going to get from him going up against a team in Baltimore, second in the month of June in overall offense?
Don't you feel like you get up to 22,000 though with Tanaka? You're going to need an ace performance to get value.
He can easily get 15, easily. He's done it way more than enough to prove that he can do it.
There's just 5,000 more than Scherzer. I have, taking that leap, I have difficulty doing that.
Yeah, and I mean, if he gets you 9, then it's not.
Then you're
not
not.
really
Yeah,
great.
you're not very happy. I agree. It is a bit of a risk, but if you like some value players and you can fit in like I did today in my lineup, putting in all the big guns, I think you can get some fairly decent value.
Like we said, the matchup is there. So if you're going to go for it, tomorrow might be the day.
That's the big reason to spend. All right, let's move on to tier 2. It's small, 10 to 15,000. StarFantasyLeagues.com. Sonny Gray, Phil Hughes, and R.A. Stacky. Oh, I'm sorry, Dickey. It's Dickey.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah.
Phil Hughes is the only one I really like out of this one because I think he can take the Yankees, and the Yankees are his old team, and they are not his daddy. So he should be fine.
Yeah, don't forget those intangibles. Going up against your old team is a thing.
Yeah.
That's something you should pay attention to,
Yeah,
especially
we saw it with Masterson earlier this year.
Yep, against the Red Sox, and he's been atrocious in every other start except for against the Red Sox. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, guy.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be going high-low here. Hughes, I think, is an option.
He's too expensive.
He's too expensive.
I like him
I would
around
rather
11.
jump up even for Greinke if I was going to spend that kind of money. But I think I'm going to be looking at more of a high-low pitching rotation on my lineup tomorrow.
I agree completely. So let's get into that. There are a lot of Chudley landmines in Tier 3. 10,000 and under on StarFantasyLeagues.com. Wei-Yin Chen, Matt Shoemaker, Brandon McCarthy, Eric Bedad, Brett Olwerholzer, Vance Worley, and Franklin Morales. There are a lot of... I have stack written down for everybody but 2. Do you want to guess who my 2 guys I have in this category
Vance
are?
Worley.
Yep, he's my boy.
He did great last time out. I thought he was going to do okay, but he was fantastic in his last start.
Yeah, Arizona's starting to fall off a little bit. Vance Worley has looked good in his 3 starts so far this season.
Yep.
The strikeout numbers have been low. That's my only issue with him. But
Pittsburgh has a pretty solid defense behind him, though.
Yeah, he's pitching well enough where, honestly, at his value, if he's getting those 6-7 point games, that's exactly what you want out of him. That is perfect.
I would say that's even more.
That's
great.
4-5 is probably what you're looking for, to be honest. 6-7 is a little high.
Well, I know you don't like Franklin Morales, so
No.
I'm going to take a swing and say that you like Matt Shoemaker.
Did I say that earlier? Because I was saying how he was smiling in his picture on StarFantasyLeagues.com. Because
Smiley.
I picked him.
Smiley.
He was smiling. I do. I think he has the best matchup overall on the board, despite the fact that he's played Houston twice and hasn't pitched very well. But that was over a month ago and more. He's pitched better.
So you think it's in
since
the past?
then.
You think it's all in the past?
Honestly, in his last 5 games, he's pitched much better than he has all season.
All right.
And it's Houston. We talk about Houston. They're not good.
If you pick one of those top guys, you're going to have to select 1 or 2 of those low guys.
Do you guys like anybody else in that category that I didn't mention?
No, they're all bad. Pick against.
I
all
like
of them.
Eric Bedard.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
You just said they're all bad. We're talking Studley, Chudley. They're
Chudley,
all
they're all
Chuds.
Chuds.
They're all Chudley. All right, coming after the break, we are giving you all of our value plays for the day on StarFantasyLeagues.com. You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show on 105.5 The Team.
You're listening to the Star Fantasy League Show. Contact the StarFantasyLeagues.com guys via Twitter at SFL Show.
We are back, and we just wrapped up Studley or Dudley Thursday. That's right, I just
I thought it
changed
was
it.
Studley or Chudley.
Nope, I changed it to Dudley.
It's Chudley.
Got a problem?
Yep.
You shouldn't.
Chud.
No, thank you. You get to say whatever you want. I can change up segment names as I please. That's
Maybe
not true.
you're the Chud.
No, that's not true at all. All right, we got to get to our top plays of the day for Thursday on StarFantasyLeagues.com. Zach, do you want to start us off?
Sure.
You don't sound too happy about it.
Well, I'm a little. I had trouble finding somebody of value that I really liked, but Max Scherzer, I'm going with it. I don't care what you have to say.
Why would you say he's listed as my second highest guy of the day?
Coming out hard.
Okay, Max Scherzer I'm going with. I love the value there. I think we know that he's more than capable of having one of those performances that is in the Tanaka-Darvish arena. Much cheaper, though. And I'm going with Miguel Cabrera, who somehow is still managing to stay right under that 10,000 mark, which I think is great. I don't have a problem putting him in any day, but especially against Eric Bedard.
Bedard.
Fine with that.
It's actually pronounced Bedad. Bedad.
No, it is not.
Fine.
I'm on also for value. This is a little more middling. It's not totally, it's not a 3,500
Stop trying
guy.
to say J.D. Martinez. Stop it.
I'm going with Neil Walker, who's at 6,600. But I like the value there. He's been hitting for power this year, 11 home runs. He only had 16 last year. I think he's got a good chance of providing value up against McCarthy.
Perfect. And who are you stacking?
Detroit.
Of course. What a surprise.
Why? I mean, why not?
Yeah, why not?
I think,
know.
especially if I put in Scherzer and then I put in a couple of the lower, maybe I put in Schumacher and Worley. Schumacher, whatever.
Schumacher, he's not a race car driver. All right, Nick, what do we got?
Well, I got a way that you can put a Detroit stack in there because my value play is Eugenio Suarez, their shortstop, who's been playing really well, 5,700. And, yeah, Eric Bedard is a great guy to pick against. So
Bedard.
I think you got to put him in there if you're going to put the other three in there. So, yeah, I think you throw him in there.
Nick approves.
I approve. Play of the day, batter is going to be Gregory Polanco. He's on fire, and facing Brandon McCarthy, he should be able to score runs, could get stolen bases, RBIs, all sorts of good stuff there. I love Scherzer as well, but I guess I'll go with you, Darvish, instead.
Oh, man.
I think Darvish is going to dominate Baltimore. I mean, it doesn't matter who he faces, and if he really has been having an up-and-down season.
Except Oakland.
Except Oakland.
They killed him.
Very true. And then for my stack, I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim that reside where?
Underneath the 405.
Oh, underneath the 405? Okay, yeah, there we go.
So you could end up taking Vance Worley and the Whirling Dervish.
I could.
Wow, that's an awesomely studly team right there.
Yep, I love it.
All right, I got Alex Rios for my surprise batter of the day going up against Wei Yin Chen because Alex Rios is 490. Woba against lefties is pretty very nice. I'm going with the Tanaka-san because, let's be honest, I've been riding him all year long. Anytime he's pitching, I think I've not started him one time all
Does
season.
he appreciate that you've been riding him?
Probably. He's a very gracious guy. Let him do it. Whatever.
I think it's nice.
Again, another guy I've been on all season is Scott Van Slyke. Anytime we're up against a nice little lefty there. Got to get in the righty. Going in Colorado, Franklin Morales, not that good, and stack up the Dodgers. They're not good against lefties as a team, but there are 3 or 4 guys who are actually hitting above average.
I wouldn't be surprised if Morales does decent.
I will be putting Morales in just because John's stacking the Dodgers, and I'm going to probably fall flat on my face.
All right, you guys love to go against me. You laugh, and I still continue to win.
I feel like Morales is one of those guys in John's loop that he would take.
No, that's Vance Worley. I have Vance Worley. He is my boy. I picked him 3 straight weeks.
Okay, fine.
Whatever. Get some free value at StarFantasyLeagues.com. Tweet us at SFL Show with our username. You get $5 free in your account. Thousands of dollars of guaranteed prize pools every single day.
Nick, you can't do it.
He didn't even try. Nick's busy.
I know he doesn't even care about the $5
He's busy calling
anymore.
collect
No, I
or
don't.
doing something. I have absolutely
He's
no
just
idea.
losing you a lot.
My country lost.
That is true. He's a little sad. And if you're sad, just think about Studley and Chudley. It'll make you happy. Take it easy, guys.